So he was the early bird with getting his drink on that for sure. But he had got drunk at the food bank, and then he was making fool out of himself. He signed up for the food bank, and he took 3 lines to sign his signature. So you know he was drunk. He was the lady that take the signatures knew he was out of order, but they still took him. They were generous enough to let him come on through and get his grub on. So when I came in there, he was sitting next to, I guess his neighbor's daughter or granddaughter. And it seemed like he was trying to get his rap on. I guess he felt good about himself. Anyway, she wouldn't have none of that. So the person at the food bank was trying to say, now that you ain't got your food all right, because they let the senior citizen go first. Then everybody under 65, I think, they go second. So that usually that senior citizen group, they went first. So they asked him to get his food going and leave. He had to be sitting around trying to have no conversation with nobody. But especially if somebody not interested in you, even if you might know him as your neighbor or somebody. Anyway, I'm about to find out that was that her neighbor, because she jumped into action, the grandmama did. And she took him by the arm, just like they do when you be escorting you off the premises. And she took him by the arm and locked arms with him and walked him on out the door. So she was the aggressive one, so to do that, I would assume that you know that person. Because anytime you're dealing with a drunk, they're unpredictable. It might get offensive once you start putting your hands on them. They're very sensitive about that. But he didn't show no resistance. So he walked on out the door because he's sitting up there talking to the young lady there. She was old enough to be his granddaughter, I guess. He was old enough to be grandfather. But grandma wouldn't have none of that, and she sat next to her. Now I know they knew each other. So that's what happened when you get drunk at the food bank. You act a fool, you get yourself escorted out by grandmama. And that was kind of funny to see that go down at the food bank. And then grandma, when she got her food on the way out, because I was hanging back a little bit, because a lot of times I get a lot of extra food, I give it away. They don't fit in my backpack. I'll be rolling on the bike. So I waited to get these keys from this lady. That's what it was. One of the volunteers had some keys for me, for my collection. But anyway, she came out with her shopping cart. She has her own personal shopping cart. And she came out with the shopping cart, and then she found herself pushing it, and she had 3 young ladies with her. 2 of them had signed up for the food bank, so they had plenty of food. And she said, well, I don't know why I'm pushing it, but I got y'all guys here. Pushes the 2 younger ones. They look like they're in their early 20s, late teens, early 20s. They wouldn't have none of that food bank. They feel that they was embarrassed to be out with Granny with the food cart, with the shopping cart at the food bank. So anyway, she had this other one with her, the third child. This is one that I can see that she takes care of, probably get paid for. It seems like she gets one of them checks for being slightly mentally disabled. She ain't completely mentally disabled, but you can tell she's slightly mentally disabled. And she probably getting a disability check for her. But anyway, she had to remind these kids that they was going to eat this food, so why should they have no shame in their game about walking down the block with her with the shopping cart? And that was kind of funny to see how their reaction, that they was at the food bank with Granny, but they wouldn't even want to get down with it like Granny. Like Granny, she gets down with it because it save her money. But anyway, that's how that went down. The second thing about the shopping cart, since we brought up shopping cart, we got the bike lanes at this one place I go to on Monday. Now, there's one lady with her shopping cart. She done pimped it out. I mean, she had pimped it out. The umbrella that you use for your outside table umbrella, but she got one of them on her shopping cart. So she can keep herself out the sun when she be rolling down the block with a shopping cart. And she got it decked out there for sure. So some people there, like I say, they take their shopping cart very personal. It's even though they ain't pay for it, it's a freebie. They found it out there somewhere. When they get a hold to it, that's their shopping cart, and they take complete ownership of it, that's for sure. So She was strolling after she got her food. She was strolling in the bicycle lane with the shopping cart with the umbrella. That was just too much. That's worth taking a picture of. But I ain't gonna embarrass her to take no picture if it's online. But if you can picture that somebody, the bike lane is set up for cyclists, people with shopping carts not using the bike lane. It's one person with an electric wheelchair who's using the bike lane. I can halfway understand that. Electric wheelchair, scooter type wheelchair. He was out the bike lane instead of being on the sidewalk. But yeah, the bike lane is coming handy, yeah, for sure. They're only used for bikes. But people with shopping carts use them, as well as people with the motor ride scooters, wheelchair scooters. They use them too. A lot of people don't like them bike lanes, but as a person that ride bikes myself, they come in handy. And I'm down with bike lanes. Though the road's still rough on them bike lanes, the buses beat them up real good, and the trucks beat them up real good. Especially around that curves, you easy to get a pothole. Especially if the drain system, the grid for the drains don't always be tight. They collapse sometimes. Once they collapse, that creates a pothole. If you don't see it, you're gonna hit it, flip over your bike and hurt yourself. So you gotta be careful with that. So anyway, those two incidents happened last week. The week before that, I was at the Thursday food bank, and I finally caught up with homegirl, who I gave the raffle ticket to sell. And she told me she had lost everything. She lost the raffle ticket, she lost my phone number, and I guess she lost the money too. So I said, I ain't gonna worry about it. It's just $10. And when God bless her soul, she needed it that day. She ain't got a flam me. She tried to act like she didn't know me, but we had a chance to talk about it. And she said I ain't pressing her about it, so ain't gonna be no big thing. That's a lesson learned. You cannot judge a book by their cover. I thought she was gonna be trustworthy, but she was not. But she might have lost it, but responsible person, even if you lose it, you should be responsible enough to say, I got you covered with that $10. But she might need it better than I did. So more power to her, that's for sure. So I had a talk with my man Clyde. We were doing a clean out of the basement. Picking up some strap for him. Clyde told me that he was missing out on the fresh vegetables. Food bank was not giving out no fresh vegetables on Mondays like they normally do. They get it from Gleaners. Gleaners get it from they get it from Eastern Market. They be dumping it on. So lately people have not been taking this stuff from the Salvation Army on Monday. The Monday food bank. So they've been throwing it in their dumpsters, and now they not even requesting it. They told Gleaners not to even bring it. Because not enough people was participating with taking it. But he was missing it so much that he did a dumpster dive on that Monday to go get it. And I said, you did what? And he told me he did a dumpster dive. I said, nah, it's all right. You get the food bag and get the food before you get to the landfill. I understand that. We know the food doesn't stop on the landfill. But when you go dumpster dive for food, it's bad enough you got a shopping cart. You got a transportation. But the dumpster dive for food, that's just too much. You're talking about what's on top. That's just as bad as somebody I seen eating some weeds. Not the kind you smoke. It's kind of grow any and everywhere. And they weeds. They say they're good for nourishment because you can't eat it. They are edible. And I told that guy, you eat all the weeds you want. People pee on weeds, spit on weeds, there's pesticide on weeds. He said, ain't no problem. Pee and spit and boo-boo on weeds from dogs and birds and cats and rats. All kinds of stuff there. That a weed. He didn't wash it off. He took it, pulled it out the ground, and put it in his mouth. He ate it. I ain't got to worry about being hungry. Because I know where the good weed to eat it. Weed. Not the kind you smoke, the kind that grow everywhere that you can eat. That one time on Monday. I don't know if I mentioned that before, but that's almost on the line of dumper diving. When you have to dump and dive in the dumpster to get some food, that's close to pulling up a weed out of the ground eating it. I don't know which one is worse. You know what I'm saying? If you don't know where that food been in the dumpster, even though you said it was sitting on top. I don't know what that means, sitting on top. You know, I know it. I said touch a lot of hands already before it get to us. Then you know go to the dumpster and get it out. That was a bit too much for me. I had to get a good laugh out of Clyde on that. I said, you had me two good laughs. Chocolate Collar was a good laugh. And now dumpster dive was a good laugh. So the last laugh I got on Clyde was he got a nice bike, cruising type bike. And we're gonna be talking about bikes from time to time we're not talking about the food bike. So we're gonna be on the bike subject right here. He had a cruiser bike, he had took a picture of him with him on it, showing it off, so he's mighty proud of himself. But he got a milk crate up front. I don't know which one is worse, milk crate or shopping cart. Both of them are free, but they're not paid for items. Throwaway items. But he had his shopping cart, his milk crate on his front handlebar, no, his back rack. He had one on the back rack, and he was styling profile with a milk crate. I said, you got a nice bike, you couldn't buy no rack. You got a rack on it back there, but you can't buy nothing there. No crate to put it on. You know, they sell a little crate you can put on the bike. That's metal. It won't be plastic. It won't be looking too ghetto. You know, I seen brother riding this today. You know, I was this is on a Sunday. I'm on Sunday, ain't no food bank. I'm out and about in the neighborhood. 3 bikers riding down Gratiot. And one of them got a really nice bike with nice rims and tires. The tires same color as the rims. And I looked up and he got a milk crate on the front of his bike. I said, no, he ain't got no milk crate on the front of the bike. I understand milk crate on the trailer. I rode with a milk crate on the trailer, but not on the bike. That's just too tight. They were stopping profile. They had downtown and then rolling back uptown. From being downtown, rolling with the bike. So that's what happened with that. Other incident that happened on Thursday, after I found out homegirl had flam flam. There's one young brother, he be up there, he's from the church. The church member know him well. But he was having a bad day. He came up there with too much attitude. So his first incident was he had helped somebody in the car that was handicapped. And then he got offended because the guy said soon that he was helping me, and I guess he didn't get a good enough thank you. So he ended up cussing him out. That was his first cuss out. And then, you know, the second time around, he told everybody about that one. Second time around, an ice cream person, they ain't gonna call no man, we gonna call him a person. He was a fool this time. He busy talking on the phone while you driving through with the neighborhood with the ice cream truck. So the lady sitting there waiting on the truck, she wants some cold water, bottled water, cold bottled water. He went and got some water from the house next door, but it's in the cup, and she don't want that, she don't trust that. So she was chasing after the truck. He started walking down to the curbway. He kept rolling. So he pulled it over because they got to pull over him on the block. The streets with it, so he pulls over down the block. And they got offended because they had to walk that far down the block. So they went to talking yang yang. He went to talking yang to him, and then the driver went talking yang back to him. They cussing each other out back and forth over a stop over the ice cream truck. You know, you don't want our business, you ain't got to be in our neighborhood and all that other stuff. And then he talking yang back. He Middle Eastern person. Most of the people driving ice cream in the neighborhood are from the Middle East. But a lot of them they have Middle Eastern heritage, let's put it like that. Some of them been here, who was born here. You know, they had them anchor babies with the Middle Eastern people. They came up here in the 70s, a lot of them came here pregnant. They be born here in the United States. Even though the mother might be here visiting, you become what is called an anchor baby. You become a dual citizen. You have a United States citizen and whatever Middle Eastern country you come from. So anyway, that's what happened this week with the food bank. Besides the bike story. You see the bikes. So we're going to be on it next week with a bike story. We're going to have a story about the electric bike and how the wheel fell off. And I was lucky to still be here. It could have been worse. So that's what's next up. So that's what's up now.